Good. All right, we're just about ready. I think we just kicked YouTube live. Make sure you share the show here on Facebook. You're on Facebook. Make sure you check in as well. Say hello. All right, just about there. Okay. Got a mouse that is acting very drive me nuts, but okay. This is Geek News Central. My name is Todd Cochran, coming to you from FEMA Region 5 in the new media production studio hideout designed by Automute.com in Coldwater, Michigan. The lead stories are, as we begin week 10 of the national lockdown, massive unemployment fraud. Huawei starting to express its frustration. The FBI has linked Pensacola shooter to Al Qaeda. And Tesla to build a car factory in Texas. I want to welcome you to episode 1448 of the Geek News Central podcast for Monday, May 18th. This show is sponsored in part by GoDaddy.com and listeners just like you. Great deals from GoDaddy can be found at geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy. You can support this show today by becoming a Geek News Central insider at geeknewscentral.com/insider. Contributions start at $2, $5, $10, $15, or $20 or $25 a month. You can get in as low as 67 cents a day. We're live once again at geeknewscentral.com/live, live.geeknewscentral.com. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitter, we're on Twitch, we're on Mixer, we're just about everywhere that you can imagine a show to be. And of course, I've got a great show lined up for you today. Lots to talk about. If you're a brand new listener to the show, thanks for being here. Get over to geeknewscentral.com. Get signed up for the show. All you got to do is click the subscribe button and you'll be hooked up with us. And then, of course, subscribe to the newsletter as well. You'll find that information on the website. You can always listen to the show on blueberry.com or on your smart home device by saying the magic keyword and then say, play the podcast, Geek News Central. You can join our chat room at geeknews.chat. That's a Mastodon chat server. Become part of the Federation. Join and get your account and hang out with the cool kids. Or you can join our Discord channel or on Slack. If you want to join our Slack channel, it's real simple. All you do is email me at geeknews@gmail.com or send your comments about the show today, geeknews@gmail.com as well. You can follow me on Twitter at geeknews as well. And of course, I'm on Facebook. Partner shows are linked at geeknewscentral.com. Those include the GNC Week in Review by our executive producer, Kirk Corliss, The Gadget Professor with Mr. Don Bain, the Pro Gear site written by my team, the New Media Show hosted by myself and Mr. Rob Greenlee, the Podcast Legend Show, which is essentially pod faded, and the Active Podcast Insider Show at podcastinsider.com. It's the podcast I do directly for the Blueberry team. You can always pick up Ohana gear, coffee mugs, all kinds of stuff. Gear, t-shirts at cafepress.com/Ohana store. And of course, this show is sponsored by the longest running continuous sponsor of a podcast. That's from our good friends at GoDaddy.com. GoDaddy's been a continuous sponsor here for very quickly approaching 15 years. So in June, it'll be 15 years. But hey, got some great deals with GoDaddy. And this is what the important part is. You can save money, lots of money. Whether it be a $4.99.com, whether it be 30% off new product purchases, whether it be $1 a month economy hosting for the first year, which includes a free domain. Yes, that's $12 to get started. Or $1 a month managed WordPress hosting for the first year with a free domain. Again, $12 gets you going, includes that free domain and a year's worth of hosting. The best deal online available today by far to get started and get a hosting account. You can get up and get started. Try something new. Start a podcast. Start a blog. Don't be worried about what you say on Facebook being basically banned. Get your own blog. Say what you want to say. share the stuff you want to share. Get the raw files for that so you don't end up being shadow banned by folks. So definitely a great time to start a website and remove the interdependencies of some of these social media sites. Of course, you can get a free trial of GoDaddy Website Builder, your choice of personal, business, or business plus plans. And all these available at my great promo code page or sponsor page, geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy. I want to thank GoDaddy for being a longtime sponsor here of the show. Thank you so much. And for those of you that continue to support the sponsor, definitely appreciate it. Share this code and these links with your friends, family members, people that you know, people on Zoom meetings. Let them know where you can get the best savings really in the planet for hosting and domain names. All right, everyone. Boy, I'll be honest with you. I did not sleep well last night. I woke up this morning and felt like I had never slept. I tossed and turned, but it was bad. Bad. I just and my butt's been dragging all day, and I'm trying not to drink a Red Bull tonight to artificially prop myself up, because when I want to get to the house, I want to be able to basically crash. Well, that's after I make my bed, because I did my laundry today too, so the bed has to be made, but shortly thereafter, I'm going to be in it. So I'll try to stay pumped up for tonight and for the show. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being part of the family. But I got done with work today, and I've had this product sitting on my shelf, and I was getting ready to do a review on it. And to be honest with you, I read a little bit about this weekend, and I attempted to navigate their system. And I'm going to be very frank with you. If I have to go to the manual for something, your product is essentially already lost. And I've been in the manual. I was in the manual tonight for like an hour, and I just couldn't get this thing. It works partially, but and it's quite expensive. I was going to do a video review of it, and I can't get it to work far enough to even fake it. So I'm just going to send the manufacturer an email and say, listen, I'm sending this back. I can't do a product review. It's probably the first product I've ever sent back, just because it looks like a nice piece of equipment, but oh my God, it is bad. So I could write up a horrible review, but I think I just give them the chance to take the product back, and I'm just going to pass on the product review. It's that bad. So every once in a while, a lemon comes across the desk. Usually, this is expensive, so this is the one I have to send back. Normally, I would just ignore it and not do a review, and I've got a whole bunch of stuff behind it that needs to be done as well. But this one is been sitting on the shelf the longest. So I just sometimes you have just to basically call uncle on something and say that's enough. So I don't understand how they're selling these. I really don't. They're selling them to a different class of customer than me. That's for sure, for the money it costs. Going back to Friday, had a full day Friday. Saturday had a new media show. The studio has got 2 bathrooms, and when I moved in here, the one bathroom, it flushed kind of hard. You had to push on the handle real hard. It had an old type of mechanism. Instead of a flipper, it had a thing that popped up, and it just wasn't working well. And probably a month and a half ago or something, I broke it trying to flush the toilet. I had to take the lid off and pull the lid and pop it that way, and got it to work. And I went and bought, a few days later, I went and bought a toilet kit and for the guts. And I have installed toilets before, but this is the first time I've ever had to assemble the inside guts of a toilet. So yeah, that was done Saturday after the new media show. Got that done. So it's flushing and not flooding. So not difficult. The fellas are out there, and probably some of the ladies too are laughing at me, but and I didn't have all the perfect tools here, so that kind of didn't help as well. But toilets fixed. So now we got 2 toilets for one person. Woohoo! I don't have to have an emergency backup anymore. Sunday minor construction work, and one thing I have learned is as hard as I try, I am not a carpenter. Not in the least. I'm lucky that I can drill instead of having to nail. Yeah, no broken fingers or anything like that. But thank God for power tools and being able to put lag bolts and stuff in. They work fantastic. They really really do. But no, I will never be a finished carpenter. And if I can cover up what I've done, it'll probably look okay. Yeah, 20, 30 years from now, when someone tears something down, they're like, "Who was the handyman that did this?" And hey, it's not, it's like I'm like my dad. If it requires two nails, he'll put 5 screws in. So I did do that. So it's not going anywhere. It just isn't that pretty. So Michael Dare, I'm not even going to send you pictures of what I done, because he would just shake your head in disgust. So I'll stay to the tech stuff. I'll let you continue to do the beautiful work you do. Hey, if anybody's looking for I don't even want to call Michael a jack of all trades, but he just about does everything. And if you're in California and you're close enough to Michael, he is great. He really really is. And I might as well throw him a bone here. If you need work, he does stuff all over. And but again, it all depends on where you're in California. Definitely not in the LA Basin area. That is not where he lives. So, but farther north, maybe he can work with you. All right. So anyway, that's what's going on here. Hope you're all doing well. Again, if you're watching on Facebook, make sure you say hi. Lots to talk about tonight, tech wise. And frankly, I'm social media out. But one thing I noticed, was it yesterday, a day before, here in Michigan, if you've watched any news at all, you know that our governor's been a little under scrutiny. Been a little over the top. For a while there, you get you get a ticket if you're mowing your own yard. She's lightening up a little bit, but it's still not very fast to many people's choice. But one thing, because of the lack of in business money coming in, that they're saying they're going to have to cut the school budgets by 20%. And the word has already went out to schools that you're going to have to slash 20%. You're getting 20% less money. So that's a big hit. Yet I'm on YouTube yesterday or day before, and guess who I see? I see an ad come up with our governor in it. And it's really not, to me, it looked like it was designed to be a educational public service announcement, but I let it play all the way through, and my dandruff stood up, because I have no dandruff because I have no hair. I guess you can still get dandruff, and I didn't shave today, so you guys can see I've got a day of white growth there for those of you watching. But it was more of a lecture. And it really pissed me off, and because, all right, if you're going to do a public service announcement where you're saying, hey, here's the guidelines, here's what you need to do, stay safe, blah, 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 that's one thing to use the taxpayer dollars for. But to kind of do this like lecture spot, it was actually 2-minute spot on YouTube. I don't know how much they paid for that, but if you're going to cut 20% from education, don't. And it wasn't political. It wasn't a political campaign, because that comes out of her political fund. But it was a Michigan State propaganda piece, I guess you would call it. It really kind of irritated me a little bit, and I don't know if you're seeing any of that on anything you're watching YouTube. Someone said, Todd, you don't have YouTube Red? No, I don't have YouTube Red. And here's and maybe someone can explain it to me, but I have a lot of YouTubers that I like. And one guy up in Canada that I like, he's built a log cabin, and it's something I like to watch. And so when his ads are on, I let them run all the way through. I let them play. And so that way he earns revenue from that. Now, I guess if you have YouTube Red, does that money go back to the YouTubers as well that you watch? Do they get a cut of your YouTube Red subscription? I don't know. Maybe one of you will know that and can tell me. But anyway, that's one of the reasons why I don't have a YouTube Red. I do have YouTube TV, and it's got. I was able to watch the NASCAR race on Sunday. Did get to get in before that started and watch a couple hours of it. But other than that, that's kind of what's going on here. Let's go ahead and get in the content. I have a full stack of stuff for you today. Great amount of. Kirk did a good job on a slow news day. Take a little shot of H2O there for those of you listening. The United States Secret Service says massive fraud is being perpetrated against state unemployment insurance programs. A well-organized Nigerian crime ring is exploiting COVID-19 by committing large-scale fraud against multiple state unemployment insurance programs. So the ring has been filing unemployment campaigns in different states using Social Security numbers and other personal identifiable information belonging to identity theft victims. A large amount of the fraudulent benefits have been used for first responders, government personnel, and school employees. The primary states targeted so far have been Washington, although there's evidence of attacks in North Carolina, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Oklahoma, Wyoming, and Florida. The Secret Service said the fraud networks, I believe, consists of hundreds of mules, a term described willing or unwitting individuals who are recruited to help launder the proceeds. So basically, someone's filing for unemployment in Washington, but yet having the deposit sent to another state. Now, while that may not raise flags, because we all do banking all over the place, right? My main bank is in Western Virginia. That's where they have branches throughout the United States, but it's a well-known national bank. And so they're sending money to these accounts. And apparently, the scammers recruit people, often victims of online romance scams, or those who are out of work and looking for any source of income. So to receive direct deposits from the fraudulent transactions, then forward the bulk of the illicit funds to the perpetrators. Now, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be getting in trouble here. But Elaine Dodd, Executive Vice President of Fraud Division at Oklahoma Bankers Association, said financial institutions in her state earlier this week started seeing a flood of high-dollar transfers tied to unemployment claims filed for people in Washington with transfers in the $9,000 to $20,000 range. Now, who makes $9,000 to $20,000 in unemployment? That's no one gets that kind of money. $9,000 maybe over the lifetime of because most people are getting what, $300, $400 unemployment. I guess it depends on your salary. But I would imagine those unemployment claims, you're not getting that much. You're getting a percentage of your regular earnings. So $9,000 to $20,000, that's huge. So it must be they're lying on the forms when they said that how much money they made. And you'd think there would be some cross-check system here. But when these transactions are questioned, the claimants are basically saying, hey, I'm hankered down in Oklahoma or wherever I may be, and I'm not in Washington State right now. So this is big. So between March and April, the number of unemployment benefits claim jumped 27-fold, and fraudulent ones. So that's big, a big jump. So they also know that the FBI was aware of a company in Oklahoma that has 7 employees and received notice of claims on several hundred persons obviously not employed there. So they're sending some claims to the same accounts, 2 or 3 or 4, 5, 10 unemployment claims are all going to the same bank account, which should be like immediate red flag in these systems, but apparently not. So hopefully they are able to round people up. Toby, yes, yeah, thank you for the plumber. And I had the plumber's crack going over, bent over on the floor, rebuilding this tank. So lucky you were not here, Toby. Huawei is hitting back to the United States as TSMC cuts off chip orders. And this is interesting because TSMC is a company out of Taiwan, as near as I can figure in this report. But Huawei's rotating chairman, Guo Ping, has hit back against the U.S. government's stricter export controls intended to stop the Chinese tech giant from obtaining essential chips, following reports that its biggest supplier has already cut it off. We still haven't figured it out, Guo said on stage at Huawei's annual analyst summit. The U.S. government still persists in attacking Huawei, but what will that bring to the world? Well, it might bring you some impact. Nikkei, which is a Japanese newspaper or magazine, reported earlier today TSMC has moved to stop new orders from Huawei following the U.S. government's announcement last week. The rules are specifically designed to target Huawei and its chip subsidiary HiSilicon, requiring a license for any shipments from manufacturers that use U.S. technology or equipment. So that's interesting. So I guess TSMC uses U.S. tech and or equipment. So now this could affect other companies in China too, just not Huawei in this general order and the licensing. You know, having worked in the job that I worked before, this export of technology is a big deal. There is some test equipment that is made here in the United States by major manufacturers like Agilent and others like that, that you are not allowed, that piece of test equipment is not allowed to be exported out of the United States. And some of that test equipment actually requires special governmental license as well to obtain and maintain and report back. And you have to send in reports that this device is still in your property and you can't resell it or anything like that. Government doesn't do that anyway for most stuff. But when you retire equipment, it goes into the government's what they call DRMO, Defense Revitalization something. Basically, that's where you send your stuff to be, they tear it down, resell it, reclaim precious metals, or sometimes it's auctioned off. And what we've seen is if you have a piece of technology, even if it's 20 years old and it's got an export restriction, there's certain destruction protocols that have to be followed. And this is not just U.S. government, but could be anyone that owns a piece of non-exportable equipment. And sometimes in the past, even certain computer equipment has been non-exportable. So we'll see where this goes. So this licensing thing is not necessarily new, because if this technology is being used in a piece of gear by a foreign government and they license it and it's a legal transfer of that, then at least it's being tracked and they know which type of gear it's going into and so forth. A lot of other countries do this as well. If you live in the United Kingdom, something's made there and they're going to sell it to the United States. There's export controls on that stuff too. So it's not just U.S. to China. It's many countries have these types of things, and they basically trying to limit the transfer and stealing of technology. So what's going on there? So we'll see. But Huawei complaining, and personally, at this point in time, I really don't care if they're complaining. Personally. So, sadly, a good friend of mine who was one of the top officers at NAS Pensacola, who I shared private messages with over the shooting that happened down there. It's been proven how, just making that reference that it's someone that one of the top dogs down there was a friend of mine, someone I had served under before. And So, obviously Navy base, Navy training command, it's basically where the United States Navy trains its pilots. And then, of course, there's some that go to helicopter school that's not in Pensacola, but in close to Pensacola, about an hour away. The shooter that happened there, that Saudi shooter, the FBI has linked this shooter to Al Qaeda with a cracked iPhone and with quote unquote no thanks to Apple. What's interesting here is that they were able to crack the iPhone. That's the first time I've heard this ever publicly talked about. The most recent contention between the FBI and Apple over device encryption has come to an end, as the agency has unlocked 2 iPhones belonging to the Pensacola shooter with no thanks to Apple. Going further, AG William Barr has again called for the government to force Apple and others to create backdoors in their devices. The Apple team, or Apple, has replied, the terrorist attack on members of the United States Armed Services at the Naval Air Station, Pensacola, Florida, was devastating and a heinous act. Apple responded to the FBI's first request for information just hours after the attack and continued to support law enforcement during their investigation. We've provided every piece of information available to us, including iCloud backups, account information, and transactional data for multiple accounts, and we lent continuous ongoing technical and investigative support to FBI officers in Jacksonville, Pensacola, and in New York over the months since. On this and many thousands of other cases, we continue to work around the clock with the FBI and other investigators to keep Americans safe and bring criminals to justice. As a proud American company, we consider supporting law enforcement support work our responsibility. The false claim made about our companies are an excuse to weaken encryption and other security measures that protect millions of users and our national security. It is because we take our responsibility to national security so seriously that we do not believe in the creation of a backdoor, one which will make every device vulnerable to bad actors or threaten our national security and the data security of our customers. There's no such thing as a backdoor just for the good guys, and the American people do not have to choose between weakening encryption and effective investigation. Customers count on Apple to keep their information secure, and one of the ways in which we do so is by using strong encryption across our device and servers. We sell the same iPhone everywhere. We don't store customers' passcodes, and we don't have the capability to unlock passcode protected devices. In data centers, we deploy strong hardware and software security protections to keep information safe and ensure there are no backdoors into our systems. All of these practices apply equally to our operation in every country in the world. So what say you on this? Should the FBI, with a proper search warrant, have the ability to compel Apple to open a phone? What do you think? Now, we all know that you can be compelled to unlock your phone with a fingerprint. We know that you can be compelled to unlock your phone with your face. We know that you cannot be compelled to unlock your phone if it's just got a password. So for the most part, because everyone has these things turned on by default, usually they can get into your device. Now, if you're dead, that might be a different situation. But it is interesting here that we've had a terrorist act happen upon the United States, and it took this long for the FBI to get access into that phone. And it makes you wonder how much money was spent in order to do that. Whereas a search warrant would have made that information available instantly. So what say you on this? Are you supportive of Apple having a continued encrypted phone that is inaccessible by law enforcement in a investigations such as this. They say they love to support national security in one hand, but say we're not going to support national security in the other. I don't know how you can have it both ways, to be kind of honest with you. So geeknews@gmail.com. Geeknews@gmail.com is the email address. Love to hear from you. So there's a new report out that Tesla plans to build a new car factory in Texas. The new factory is slated to build the Model Y crossover and the Cybertruck. Elon Musk's recent clashes with officials in Alameda County, home of Tesla's Fremont factory, may have given him a heightened sense of urgency to find Tesla's next U.S. factory. So this is good. On Friday, several news outlets reported that Tesla was nearing in on a new location to build the Model Y crossover and Tesla's forthcoming Cybertruck. Did they say where? Oh, Tesla's apparently given a few options in the greater Austin area, but Musk has said he wanted to start construction extremely soon and aims to have the Model Y vehicles coming out of the plant by the end of the year. Wow. That would be a remarkably short time for any car company to build a new factory. Last year, it took Tesla almost a year to build its Shanghai factory, and that was considered unusually fast. The new factory could easily cost $1 billion. Tesla's currently building a factory near Berlin with an estimated cost of more than $4 billion, but with $8 billion in the bank at the end of the last quarter, Tesla shouldn't have too much trouble financing the project. So, they say a final decision has not been made, but Austin and also Tulsa, Oklahoma are among the finalists. So, is he really going to pull out completely of California? Now, one of the reasons they think that Tesla may be thinking about gravitating towards Texas is that Musk has substantial ties to the state. His other company, SpaceX, has at least 2 facilities in Texas. The company's building Starships at a growing facility near Boca Chica, near the southernmost point in Texas. SpaceX also has a rocket testing facility in McGregor, Texas, about halfway between Austin and Dallas. So, and of course, they got jimmied up in a couple other things in California. They were denied a couple of things here, I think, today as well. I don't know if I have that in the news report, but it's going to hasten their departure. Hey, Brad, how are you? Thanks for checking in on Facebook. Apple may be getting an early approval for $500 million iPhone throttling sentiment. However, COVID-19 is delaying the final. So they're going to be compensating customers for its initial approach to iPhone processor throttling. There's a class action lawsuit that was given, and if you have a phone that was throttled, you probably get about $3. Oh, no. So what's this going to be? Like many large-scale settlements, you shouldn't expect a windfall. The arrangement would pay each iPhone user $25, and that number is only likely to climb up to $500 per person if the total payouts, attorney fees, and expenses don't reach at least $310 million, which it will. Because attorneys have a great way of billing stuff up. They're remarkably good at it. And most likely this will only help you cover the cost of a battery replacement if you're still using a device included in the settlement. So, did you sign up for the class action? Google Meets passed 50 million downloads boosted by COVID-19. That's pretty impressive. 50 million installs since May 6th. And but a lot of people are moving to Google. Wow, that's pretty amazing. Huh. I haven't used it yet, but it used to be exclusive to the service I paid for, and I've never used it when we paid for it. So they had it hidden away pretty good. Amazon Prime Day is happening in August. So if you've tried to order anything from Amazon the past few days or months, but delivery times suck. I mean, everything I've ordered from Amazon has been 2, 3, 4 weeks out. It's horrible. horrible delivery time. So I've actually been going direct to the manufacturer to buy stuff because it's being delivered quicker than Amazon can. So right now, Amazon Prime Day is August 3rd, 10, 17, 24, and 31. Oh, all of the possible dates. Okay. Mondays in some Monday in August. So with them not able to deliver stuff and get it out of the warehouses quickly, which we're all seeing, not surprised they're pushing. All right. Do you have a Hulu account? Well, there's a list of television programs that you can watch on Hulu. It's coming in June. So just a couple weeks away. So if you want to see what's coming to Hulu in June, the list is up in the show notes. A little bit of an update on Comet Atlas. We talked about this a few shows ago. It's become a bizarre comet within a comet. So lots of craziness going on here. So this Comet Swan, this newfound bright Comet Swan, but Atlas is still in its faded and fragmented form. Recent photos show Comet Atlas still cruising the inner solar system as an unusual comet within a comet. Okay. So, Comet Atlas. So, link will be up in the show notes. So, Comet Atlas plunging towards the sun with a closest approach on May 31st. And we're only 9 days away from the SpaceX launch. Members of Congress can vote from home from now, but not using tech. They actually have to nominate a proxy, someone that's going to vote in their stead. There's no Zoom voting going on. But basically, you can send a proxy through paper and telling exactly on that paper how you want the proxy person to vote for you. So with the House of Representatives holding 435 members, they can't all be in there at once. So they can do some proxy voting. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. I guess technically only 2 people could be there. Could be the minority and the majority leaders. And then they could file all their proxies through those 2. Let's see here. And they are thinking about looking at technology. Wow, look at that. Minecraft still incredibly popular as sales top 200 million and 126 million plays monthly. That's amazing. 200 million in Minecraft sales. And it celebrates 11 years since the first Minecraft alpha build was released. Microsoft seen a big increase in Minecraft usage during the pandemic. You'd think so? Minecraft saw a 25% increase in new players last month and a 40% spike in multiplayer session. Remember Second Life? Been messing around a little bit with Second Life. If you're still on Second Life, send me a note via email. I'll give you an insight into a little project I'm working on. I'm actually looking for a few builders. Microsoft and FedEx team up to make deliveries more predictable. So they're developing technology to help it and other companies ship products more efficiently. The first to respond from the partnership announced Monday against the backdrop of Microsoft annual Build conference that lets corporations store different kinds of information like traffic patterns and product inventory in one system. Businesses then can use machine learning to predict delays in shipping owing to storms, for example, and then change the routes they use. It's going to be called FedEx Surround, and companies are going to be able to use it. They did not disclose the cost of the service, but interesting what they're doing there. Of course, FedEx is under pressure to lift its declining profits, increase competition from Amazon, the impact of the coronavirus pandemic. The shares are down 36% over the past 12 months. I haven't received a FedEx shipment literally in more than maybe a year. Everything is coming via UPS, US Mail, Amazon Direct Shippers. I've not seen, to be honest with you, have not seen a FedEx truck in a while. There's a FedEx box right outside my building. Literally, like, I could throw a baseball at it and hit it right if I had a clear shot from here. And I never see anybody dump anything in that box. Xfinity Mobile says its new data plans include 5G at no extra cost. So that's interesting. So whether customers pay by the gig or for an unlimited data package, you'll be able to access 5G services across 31 major cities at no extra charge. So whose backbone does Xfinity use? Does it say? I don't even know. So if you have an Xfinity phone, 5G for free. If you have a 5G phone, does Xfinity even sell any 5G phones? The Supreme Court has rejected a lawsuit against Facebook for hosting terrorists. So the Supreme Court has rejected this lawsuit, claiming Facebook provided material support to terrorists by hosting their content. It declined to hear Force versus Facebook, a case brought by the families of 5 Americans who were hurt or killed by Palestinian attacks in Israel. The suit had already been dealt a serious blow last year, strengthening a legal precedent against suing social media platforms over terrorist attacks. This lawsuit originated in 2016. So, again, this is a little bit of safe harbors thing going on here. Google is testing an easier smart display interface for the less tech savvy. It's starting with the residents of select Washington state retirement homes. Now, this is kind of curious. Maybe this was planned, but family members are not able to get into elderly resident facilities. So Google wants to find a way for them to be able to stay connected, I guess. So they're sending a bunch of these devices to a retirement home. So with these displays, users can launch video chats over dual calls and set up rotating photo galleries. But not everyone knows knows the breadth of what you can do. So they're really making it simple. Google explained it is conducting this experience in a way that preserves privacy for the residents, adding the devices are managed on Nest Fleet Management System run in assigned out mode, meaning no audio is stored on and all activity is anonymous. So, interesting. I wonder how they're getting into these retirement areas. They're supposedly locked down. Texas. Oh, so here's something Paul said. Paul was. Oh, wait a minute. He's on Facebook. Let me read what you have to say there, Paul. Let me scroll down. Paul is in Austin. And he said, just got my A10 Mini Pro from UPS. I saw that new device. Pretty nice. Let me know how you like it, Paul. I couldn't get the A10 Mini Pro on Amazon in time. Had to get it from another supplier. I saw that device. That's not a bad little switcher. I think it does 4 cameras, right? HDMI inputs, some lower thirds and stuff. Well, that price on that device wasn't bad. Let me know how you like it. Mike Dell and I were talking about it a couple weeks ago. So let me know how you do on that. Hey, Texas embraced a virtual jury trial amid coronavirus. It's experimenting with a one-day summary judgment trial via Zoom. So basically, in Collin County District Court, conducting what officials believe is the first virtual jury trial. The one-day summary judgment trial will be held via Zoom. Because of the format of this trial, jurors will be hearing arguments from both sides and offer a non-binding verdict. The parties will then sit for mediation and attempt to negotiate a settlement. This makes the case an ideal way to experiment with a virtual jury. So this is interesting. So basically, they've been encouraging judges to conduct hearings remotely, but bring in jurors is definitely another issue. Arizona has already approved a remote jury selection, and once jury trials resume in Indiana, they'll have the option to conduct them remotely as well. So we will see. Google is suspended a popular. Well, we know about. Okay, so those of you that use Podcast Addict, maybe you didn't get the show. Podcast Addict has been removed by Google. Talked about this extensively on the New Media Show, just because some of the shows inside the app had some COVID-19 content. So again, Podcast Addict is a podcast application that allows you to subscribe and listen to podcasts like this. So I've been on this all day. Someone at Google will finally wake up when they hear about this. Either a bot did this or someone they really didn't understand what a podcast app did. For Podcast Addict to remove all the COVID-19 content would be impossible. Very, very hard in their current structure, too, because they pull directly from Apple. They don't have their own database. So, interesting enough, because even though Podcast Addict was removed, some of the same exact content is on the Google Podcast app. So there is something seriously amiss there. Paul says Alec Lindsay has been having daily office hour sessions on Zoom with about 50 of the world's top audio engineers, video streamers, filmmakers. Pretty amazing. Oh, that's cool. Huh. Uber is axing another 3,000 jobs, closed 45 offices. So people aren't using Uber right now. That's 6,700 employees let go this month so far. And wow, that's big. I wonder if some of these companies are cutting people just to cut people, because maybe they figured out they don't need as many people. So Uber has really been taking a hit here. Rides down 80% since April. And they're scrambling to cut at least as much as $1 billion in costs by slashing its workforce and shutting some 45 offices around the world. That's huge. And it'll make you wonder, once they come out of this, if they'll be able to survive without those people. And so they're basically sending out severance payments. They're writing off leaseholds. Basically, it's big. So not only are they bailing on leases, that those buildings are now going to be empty. All right, since we're watching so much Netflix, what's new? What's new on Netflix? Week of May 18th. That information is available in the show notes tonight. So definitely look through the list. If you run out of things to see on Netflix, this will give you an idea what's new. Also, there's some Wi-Fi 6 routers, best cheap Wi-Fi 6 routers. I don't know if cheap and best are never is something you want to put in the same sentence, especially when it comes to Wi-Fi routers. So the next gen of Wi-Fi, known as Wi-Fi 6, is making its way into a lot of new phones and wireless devices. The best overall was the Asus RT-AX56U. Best value is the TP-Link Archer AX10. Best mesh is Netgear Nighthawk MX62. So anyway, link will be up in the show notes. They're not necessarily inexpensive. I'll just tell you that much as well. So I wouldn't call them cheap. Over an article on Geek News Central. Thank you for Kirk for picking this up for the show tonight. Apple's reopening stores with COVID-19 safety measures. So they're opening stores in Florida in a variety of different places. They've created a Find a Store search tool that people can use to find out if the Apple store near them is reopened. So they're going to be doing a whole bunch of stuff the Apple way, I'm sure. I'm sure you're going to be limited number of people will be able to go in, but I think they've only had like 11 stores be able to reopen so far. So exciting news to see that many of you that have computers you need to pick up or stuff like that, I'm sure you're going to want to get into an Apple store. But you will need a face mask to enter. A bug in Edison email app allowed users to view others' users' emails. Well, that's not good. So this type of a bug is one that could end badly. The popular Edison email app seems that a recent update has resulted in a bug that has allowed emails of other users to show up in the inbox of another user. This is a no-no, but thanks to a new feature in Edison email app that allows users to sync messages. However, some users reported for some reason that they sync the message belonging to other users who also use the app, thus allowing emails to be read by complete strangers. So that's horrible. Can't imagine. Cannot imagine. Being reported that Apple's next affordable iPad could have more screen, less bezel. Analyst Ming-Chi Kuo also predicts new iPad mini model by early 2021. So Apple may have a couple more product launches here in 2020, of course, but some rework of the iPads is going on in place, maybe a $400 iPad as well. So stuff we'll watch out for. Last couple articles here. DoorDash has been doing some stuff, I guess, that is probably not the right thing. But they've been listing... Oh, maybe I got this wrong. Okay, I'm going to... The title of this and what I thought this article is... Basically, DoorDash has been listing restaurants, their menus, and then prices were wrong and some mismatch going on, specifically in pizza. And a lot of people aren't happy because companies are losing money as they're trying to survive during this time. And so anyway, I'll have the link up in the show notes. You can read through it. But it's basically the article that says DoorDash and pizza arbitrage. I think that's it. I think that's the last article for tonight. I have some email that's come in that I need to go into. And I've been getting so much email. I hope I didn't miss anyone's. I definitely appreciate it. Edward, thank you for your suggestions. Todd, you mentioned on the cast you were suggesting that you were seeking suggestions for options for converting older personal analog recordings into digital. For VHS beta tapes and audio cassettes, I've had a good success using Pinnacle's video transfer unit. For my dozens of VHS tests, the quality was quite good. I don't think they sell that one anymore. I was familiar with that one before, Edward. There's some other devices out there that's similar to that now. It's available, and I understand you basically connect the composite video, left-right video, and S video. So he added some splitters so he could watch what was going to the TV at the same time. Yes, and he said, I'm sure there are other choices, but they continue to work for me. Just dug the unit out of a closet where it sat for 3 years and did have a batch of 10 tapes. I found cleaning out a closet. Tapes are degraded, but still viewable. What I need, except for one which got enveloped by mold, aka Hong Kong weather. So thanks for listening from Hong Kong. Here are the links to what I have. Amazon lists some sellers with secondhand units. Not sure if it's available now. Again, yeah, there is some other available stuff out there. So, Spode, thanks for sending that out, and stay safe there in Hong Kong. How's things going? You guys locked down there in Hong Kong? What's going on there? And yeah, so Jim, thanks for sending the story about coronavirus survivors banned from joining the military. There has been some updated guidance on that. And basically, someone that they're basically got an updated policy. So not everyone is being excluded from joining. They've got a whole process now for new entrants coming into the military and what they're going to do to them through a process that's called MEPS. It's where you basically get screened medically and a whole bunch of other things. So they do have some stuff. So this was a big discussion between my brother-in-law and me about what was going on, and we did find out some additional information. There's been some future guidance. So it's not like a complete ban of the million or so people that have gotten COVID-19 from being able to be in the military. That would basically excluding one in like every 330 people. So, but anyway, thanks for your link to that. And also Jim said, hey, so I've been listening to you since 2010. I'm an insider, by the way. Jim, yes, Jim, thank you for being a insider here. Rob, you sent me some nicknames. He said, other names for the virus. One I've heard is Rona. Enjoying your cast. Rob, thanks for listening. I was actually using Rona over the weekend, so I should have continued to say that. Sam, one of our longtime supporters of the show. Sam's done a remarkable. If you guys see the album art on the website or in the MP3 files, Sam's done all that work with all that image album art. He says, I'm currently watching Devs on Hulu. it is good. Sam, of course, Ohana in Albuquerque. So, man, what I wouldn't give for a Frontier burrito, dude. You have no idea. The Mexican food here is it's really bad. It's really, 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 really bad. Got an email from Lamar. He says, "Hey Todd, checking in with you. I've been listening for a while. Some of your recent ranks were more colorful than in the past. However, I still listen to you because you stay true to being you, and your methods are unique as you deliver the tech news. Stay safe and stay yourself. Take care." Again, Lamar. He put a little note on the bottom of his email. Said, "Better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to speak out and remove all doubt." Abraham Lincoln. So thanks for that, Lamar, from sending that in, and hope you're doing well over there in the Windy City. Okay, and some deep dish pizza over there. Yes, I have to come to Chicago and have deep dish after this is all over. So from Facebook, we've got Paul's telling me something. He says, "Hey Todd, have you seen Upload on Netflix? Wow, the show is genius. Robbie Amell plays a successful coder who dies young in a near future where the wealthy store their consciousness in a boutique cloud server, which allows them to experience eternity in a customizable simulation of a resort hotel with opportunities." So I think I started to watch it, and I think I clicked off it pretty quick. So maybe I didn't watch for far enough. So Paul, I'll definitely check out Upload on Netflix. It's funny you say with opportunities. So that sounds to me like it could have the adult nature. So everyone, thanks. Hey, thanks for being here. Those who are live, thanks for being on. Thanks for watching. Definitely appreciate it for hanging out with me today. And show's ending relatively fast today. That's good. And I'm beat. So hopefully I can get 6 or 7 hours sleep tonight without, rolling around in bed 50 times. But you guys don't care about that. First bad night of sleep I've had in a while. Don't know why, but just the way it is. So, geeknews@gmail.com, geeknews@gmail.com. Definitely appreciate it. The insiders out there. Sorry for not as a pumped up show tonight, but they all can't be 100% golden. But definitely thank you for your ongoing support at geeknewscentral.com/insider. Become an insider today. 6.7 cents per day gets you on the board. 2, 5, 10, 15, 20, or $25 a month. We definitely appreciate those one-time donations as well. We've had a couple of real nice one-time donations come in. So I want to thank those folks, Ted specifically on one. And I apologize. I think I forgot the first name of the other contributor, but we've had some real nice ones there. And it's most appreciated. But again, geeknewscentral.com/insider. And of course, your ongoing support of the sponsors are good as well. Hey, there's an experiment I've been running for those of you watching the show. So I have this is going to sound stupid. I have a rack of shirts. So I've been pulling a shirt off as they come every day. And so what shirt you get on the show when I'm live is completely random. So I go about 3 weeks, I think. I think there's 21 shirts on the rack. So you have, and again, I put them back on in a mixed order, not in the same order they came off because, they come out of the laundry, right? So what shirt you get on the show, we just never know. Someone today said, "Your face looks orange." I said, "Well, it's because of my red shirt." So if I looked orange today, I apologize, or pink or whatever it may be. But thanks everybody for being here. Again, we'll see you next time. geeknews@gmail.com. We'll see you back here on Thursday. Everyone take care. Bye-bye.